slide deck, but I do have to urge you guys to go to the slide deck that's on Lion One's website. There's forward-looking statement, cautionary verbiage attached with that slide deck. What I want to do, because this is such a short time, is take you through some geology. All right, I've been helping Lion One for about 7 or 8 months now, I think. Visited the property first time was about a year ago today. And I've been watching Lion One for a while. I like the type of system that Lion One is exploring. They have what's called an alkaline gold system. What that means is a fancy term for a gold deposit that's associated with igneous rocks that came up, and those igneous rocks had a lot of alkaline metal in them, particularly potassium. All right, these deposits are not all that common on Earth. There's only a handful of them, really. But when you find them, they tend to be big. They tend to be fairly high grade, most of them. Give you some examples. Cripple Creek in Colorado is one. Newmont's operating there. But back in the 1900s, Cripple Creek produced about 20 million ounces at about 0.4 ounce per ton. So it was an amazing mine. Other examples, Porgera. Porgera has been operating, it's in Papua New Guinea. It's at this point a joint venture between Barrick and Zijin Mining, and again, very high grade. In fact, the early days it was well over ounce per ton. So these alkaline systems, they're rare, but they're highly sought after. All right, the major mining companies, almost all of them, have one of these deposits in their portfolio. Newmont owns Cripple Creek. Barrick's exposure to an alkaline system is Porgera. Newcrest has Lahira Island. They also have the Cadia deposit in New South Wales. So these things are kind of special in the geologic world. And when I saw this system and I visited, there were a few things that really jumped out at me that told me this could be a much larger system than Lion One presently has resource. All right, so rather than take a lot of time to go through a static slide deck, I'm actually going to show you the geology. It's kind of like a virtual tour, if you will. So we are in Fiji, and right now we're about maybe 20 minutes from the airport. The airport at Nadi is just off the slide to the left in this blue space. It doesn't show up in the imagery here because the imagery covers the property. But this is a project that's easily accessible. The city of Nadi is over here. There's another mine to the north called Vatukoula. It's been in operation, I think, 85 years now. It's produced somewhere around 7 or 8 million ounces, has about 3 million ounces of reserve and resource left. So there are world-class gold deposits right next to us, all right? And I think this will be the next. So that big circular feature you see right in the middle, that's actually what we call a caldera. It's a volcanic center. This thing's about 4 million years old. The throat of the volcano was right here in the center of the caldera, as one might expect. And that volcano came up along a big old fault. If I turn the slide this way, you can see there's a big fault ripping right through here. And that fault continues on to the northeast where Vatukoula is at. So basically, Vatukoula is the next volcano to the northeast. Again, over a 10 million ounce system. If it's there, why not here? Okay, so when I joined Lion One, they had done a heap of work. You can see the drill holes right down here in this location. Lots and lots of good scientific work, developing a modest-sized resource, just under 1 million ounces, we'll call it, of resource in this location. But there's lots more caldera. Why not bigger? All right, so part of the reason the property boundary that used to be present was here, they didn't control the northern part of this caldera. They do now, all right? As of June of last year, they've got it all. All right, so when I started with Lion One, we laid out an exploration program to show this system could be much bigger. One of the first pieces of data that we collected was stream sediment data of a particular type called BLEG, B-L-E-G. These samples, I'm going to find it here. There we go. These samples are a specific type of stream sediment sample that gives you a very good signal out of each little drainage coming out of the mountains. So you can kind of get a sense of where the gold resides. All right, that little area that they've drilled is right here. Yes, these drainages light up, obviously. There's a gold deposit right there. But look at here. the footprint of the system is multiples bigger than was previously thought. And most of it's on that new ground, all right? So, wow, we've got a heap of area here to explore. To put this in comparison with other alkaline systems, that's roughly the same diameter as the Porgera system or Lahire or Cripple Creek, or pick your favorite alkaline deposit. This is basically 7 kilometers across. It's a huge system. So the focus, yes, been here, but there's lots and lots more to explore. I'm going to turn that off. So next year, once the dry season rolls around, we will be drilling up in that area. But what we're doing right now is we're focused in the area right here where they've done historic drilling. I'm going to zoom in on this. First of all, I'm going to turn off the imagery so that we can actually see through the surface and see the ore body. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're looking at the block model. As I spin it around, you'll see it. It's the block model of all the veins that have been drilled to date, and it's largely constrained by where there is drilling. Okay, where there's no drilling, the deposit can extend, obviously. All right, the pinks and reds, obviously high grade, greens, cooler, lower grade. But you can see the system is actually a fairly predictable sequence of veins. It almost opens up like pages on a book, like a book that's been opened. The system is open at depth. One of the things about alkaline systems is they go down in the ground a long way. Took me, inviting Wally down to Cripple Creek and having him look at Newmont's database there to show exactly how deep these systems can go. These things can go down 1.5 kilometers into the ground. Right now, that's about 350 meters, but down at depth here, the system should continue. These things are deep-rooted, all right? So what are we doing? We're drilling some deep holes. I actually worked with Lion One's team, laid out a drill program. The purple holes you see here are all planned holes. The yellow ones are holes that we've either drilled or are in progress. First deep hole is this upper one right here. We announced results for that in December. Right down here in the bottom, where most of the resources indicated, we hit about a 4.3 meter intercept of 33 grams per ton. That's exciting. You can see there's a lot of pink in the resource model down here, okay? Something's happening down there. I think the root of the system, in fact, the better grades, are going to be situated down there. Put it in perspective, at Porgera, they drilled and drilled and drilled. Placer went in there 76. I think it was 10 years later when they finally hit the root feeder of the system, and that's what made the mine. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to probe this area to not only increase resource, but actually try to find that high-grade root to the system. So this is new work, exciting story, early days. This hole that you see in yellow right here is being drilled right this moment. It's sitting right there. It's just about to go through this vein complex. So maybe in the next few weeks, we'll have some more exciting news, but we do have many more holes playing. You see all the purple holes down here. We want to show the system is there. It's prolific at depth. All right, now one more piece of data we've gathered recently, and this is a bit of a preview for folks, is data called CSMT data. Big words, but it's called controlled source audiomagnetotellurics. All right, if you can bear with me, it shows properties of the rock called resistivity. Okay, one of the most exciting things. This is early days. We've got the data in the middle here, but it's being processed right now. But right now, we can see the structure, that V-shaped thing, is likely the structure that fed this system. So we got gold up here, we got gold here, all of this stuff here. Guess what? That is where we're going to start looking for that high-grade feeder. In fact, I think the feeder structure is located approximately there, and some of these deep holes that we have planned will intercept that feeder. Okay, now what's more exciting? Let's step back and look at the whole complex. What the heck is this thing? Okay, there's something showing up here that's well to the north. We're looking south right now, but there are definitely more structures on this property. This area happens to be where those blegs were lighting up here. All right, so early days, but what is 1 million ounces today could turn into 10 million ounces with a little bit of hard work. All right, so 16 seconds left. I'll end my story there. There's a question. Is there Q&A time? Or?
I'm just going to say, imagine there was a forward-looking statement slide at the
Yes,
front of this.
yes. Sorry, it's good point.
Just putting that out there.
Get on that. Okay,
Just trying to cover your you know what.
good point, yes. All right, thank you.
Yeah, don't worry.